What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Arrow Season 6 video. So if you're new to the channel, please do drop a like, please do subscribe, and Arrow Season 6 is shaping up very nicely now that we have Deathstroke's son Joe Wilson, who is coming to the show. He'll be played by Liam Hall, who was in the show Lucifer, which I haven't seen, and I might watch it at some point, but I'm still working my way through iZombie and Twin Peaks, and it could be some time until I've actually finished both of them. However, it's really cool that we're going to get that in episode 5 and 6 will be a Deathstroke two-parter. Now, that was revealed in an interview with Mark Guggenheim on Collider. However, he's also revealed something else which is gonna be hated by a lot of people, I think, because Felicity is very much a Marmite character. You either hate her or you love her, and really, actually, I'm kind of indifferent. I wish she wasn't on the show, but you know what? You have to put up with her. Just like if you have an annoying sibling, you've got to put up with her. But he has said that she will be getting her own company this season. Now, obviously, we had Smoke Technologies that was featured in that episode of Legend of Tomorrow when they went to the future, and we saw Grant Wilson. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a connection there or how this will work, but it seems like Felicity has been striking out mostly on her own and trying to get her own identity, especially last season where the first half we had her working with Oliver Queen very closely. However, later on she started to get the help of, and she was going all on her own initiative to try and get that help from that hacker group. And did that go well? Kind of. Not really, to be honest. They completely used her and chucked her because she would not work with Oliver Queen. But this season, we're going to be seeing possibly Michael Emerson as Caden James and Felicity getting her own company. So I'm not too sure. I hope that doesn't detract from everything that is going on with Oliver Queen, with his son and all of this. And we have hints that Felicity will be quite a big part of this season, and Mark Guggenheim does absolutely love that storyline for whatever reason, and I'm not a fan of it, but I guess we kind of have to accept it, really. Or you could just comment saying I hate it. So let me know on that and where you stand. Now, what will actually happen? Will she kind of slowly get her own company, or will it be happen again like when Palmer Industries then somehow transferred to her being in charge? We had Oliver, we had Queen Industry consolidated, all that kind of stuff going on with Felicity as well. It was just a weird time when that happened, and it's a real shame that we haven't got Ray Palmer more on this show. However, obviously he's over on Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm not too sure how she is qualified to take over and lead a company, but I'm curious to see where she will actually go and what kind of impact this will have and how big they're taking that storyline, which is what I'm worried about, of the storyline being too big. Now, another thing as well on this show is that the Vigilante will be back, and we will learn just who this character actually is. And it's been a big mystery because I myself was wanting to find out who it was last season. However, with Prometheus, Arrow, and that kind of thing, and he kind of left. And where has he gone? Is he just like sitting at home looking at pictures of Mayor Queen like, I'm so angry, and looking at news reports of the Arrow and being like, I hate that guy. And he's just sitting there just absolutely screwing. But it's a shame that we never got to find him out, because a lot of us were thinking it would actually be Adrian Chase, which would be true to the comics. However, obviously Adrian Chase wasn't the Prometheus' true name, and all this. It gets a bit iffy when we're thinking about just who these characters really are. But having that character on the show is really cool. It's proper brutal, really just doesn't give a fuck. But on Entertainment Weekly's Spoiler Room, we had some really cool stuff featured on Supergirl, The Flash, and everything like that. But the big thing that they mentioned was that Vigilante will be back, and he will be a villain, but he will also be a villain for someone on the team, and the own personal villain. So each villain this season will be linked to someone. So I expect that if Caden James is back, he will be Felicity's villain, and then obviously Black Siren for Oliver Queen, and everything, and so on and so on. So it looks like that the identity of the Vigilante is linked to someone on the team. Now, who that could be, I would probably, the closest thing I could say on the actual surface of it would be Wild Dog, because Wild Dog uses 2 guns, he uses guns like nobody's business, and the Vigilante also uses guns. I know that's a bit of a crap connection, but that's the one I'm making there. So let me know who you think on the team the Vigilante could be, who his identity is linked to someone on Team Arrow. There is the theory that it is Captain Pike, so it could be Lance as well, it could be Quinton, who is the connection there on the show, if he is actually going to be featured in Team Arrow more and more. Now, while I was making this video, we actually had a very cool tweet out by Colton Haynes, who is currently in American Horror Story Cult, which is a really, really good show. And if you haven't actually watched any of the previous American Horror Stories and you just want to see Policeman Colton in this show, then you can easily go and check that out. They're not linked. They're kind of linked, but really they're not. It's kind of really superficial, but you can check that out. And he's tweeted that Roy will be returning to Arrow very soon, and very soon, to me, that means this season. I don't think it will be anything in the first kind of half or quarter of this season. I think it might be quite later on in this show, and I think that that's really cool that he's actually returning, so I'm excited. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. And lastly, we have something which I don't know about. So the last video I did on the Arrowverse, I brought you the news that the Flash wedding will be happening between Iris West and Barry Allen. She will be Iris Allen. So quite big stuff there that is going to happen this season. Kind of spoiled it, but I guess we kind of expected that this would happen, and I speculated that this will happen in the crossover, and perhaps Reverse Flash will get involved in some way. However, what is going to happen here is that Iris and Barry will be going to couples therapy, and this will be a very funny part. I mean, is he going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm really sorry for that time that my Time Remnant version tried to kill you, and then I got engaged to you because I thought that would stop it? Is that what's going to happen? Is he going to be like, I'm sorry for all the times I've got to go out and save Central City, and the couples therapist is sitting there like, are you the Flash? And that all that goes on as well. So I'm not too sure how this is going to work. It looks like this season is going to be very Iris and Barry centric, very, very kind of that romance and that relationship is going to be the front and center of this season. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I want to go back to season 1 where he's trying to go and take down loads of all these villains, these metas who pop up, which is what we could possibly get this season, but I don't know. I hope we get a good season. But that's it for this video. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe.